Hey guys, welcome to today's analysis. As usual, I always do the analysis on Wednesdays and Fridays. Mostly Mondays, Ken is the one who does them. So we did one on Monday, then I do Wednesday, sometimes also on Friday. So welcome to today's analysis. I'll break down the charts as usual. I'll look at the trades we have running, markets we're looking at, markets that haven't gone well, what we're still watching on our watch list, what is on our radar, and what we have lively running at the moment. I'll also share a few trades that I have in terms of the challenges we've taken on the MFF challenge, the targets, how I'm managing them, and what is the target I'm looking for, especially for this week. Apart from that, I don't have anything much. Fundamentally, there's nothing much. Yesterday we had RBA, the Reserve Bank of Australia, talking about their interest rates, which we saw a spike on the Australian dollar and the Australian counterparts, if the Aussie dollar, the Aussie JPY, and such stuff. Okay, so we had a bit of a spike there going on, but market sort of came back to equilibrium, then continued moving in the direction we're looking for. So that's pretty much it. I won't say much. We'll just get straight into the analysis and start trading. So let's hop on into it. Hey traders, sorry for the late one. I was trying to connect a few things here that I hadn't connected just yet, but I hope you're all fine. I hope you're having a wonderful week. For those who do not know me, I'm Caleb. So I'll do the usual. I'll break down the markets and see what we have, what we're expecting to see out of the markets this week, okay? And then apart from that, I'll look at fundamentally trades that I have running, because I have a few trades that are running on Dow Jones and gold. So I'll show you the reasoning behind them, how I got them. For those who've been following my analysis, I've been having trades running for the past 2 to 3 weeks, especially on gold, on Dow Jones, those two. But I had the new ones, fresh ones that I took this week on Monday, no, last week and this week, one of them, okay? That's on Dow and gold. So fundamentally, do I have anything much? Not really. Was it yesterday when we had the Bank of Australia, Reserve Bank of Australia, talk about their interest rates? They talked, which affected the market. There was quite some volatility coming in, but that's what we had yesterday. Apart from that, this week I don't have anything much, nothing really. If I share my screen, because mainly remember, at the end of the day, I'm what type of a trader? I'm a swing trader and a technical analyst, not really a fundamental. And one of the reasons why I say I'm a technical analyst is because we normally say the price action is all there is, everything else is embedded in it, meaning what you're seeing in the charts has factored in the fundamentals, the psychology, the technical aspects, the sentimental aspect. Everything of what you're seeing is what people are doing at that moment. If market fell strongly, basically the market is telling us there's panic, maybe there's news that came out, everything is already factored inside it. So as a rule of thumb, that's what I always tell myself. Price action is all there is, everything else is embedded in it, okay? That's a rule for technical analysts, okay? So if you're one, I'd suggest you abide by that rule, okay? So wait, I don't know if I was sharing the right screen. Yeah, there we go. So as you can see, let's start on a daily chart perspective. I'll start with the pairs that I have quite some trades running. If you remember well, I'll start with gold. I've been looking at gold for the past many weeks, okay? So I've been having these trades that are running ever since. You can see we got one down here. So this was one that we had down here. Basically what we're looking at, if I go back to, this is just my chart for looking at trades, then this is the one that I use for analysis, okay? So I like to separate them, not to confuse. I don't like to see, you know, normally when I have this running, okay, when I have this risk reward on the background and then I take trades, I'm normally having a strong perspective of, I have a bias on that direction. So I like to have one where I have my trades running, which is I use the Paperstone one, because you can execute trades directly from Paperstone right now for in TradingView, so you don't really need to go down to what is it called, MetaTrader, okay? So you can directly use that, but if you still want MetaTrader, it's still fine. They don't stop you from doing that, okay? So what am I watching? This is the daily chart. I'm looking for the 1, 2, 3 bounce. We got a good entry down here where I was looking for market to rally it further up, looking for 2050. That's a very long-term trade, okay? That's not a trade I'm expecting it to be matured in the next 1 week or 2 weeks. It's quite long-term, so that's what I'll be looking for in the long term. But in the short term, I got a trade this last week on the 4-hour chart. Shared it on the group. If you follow my analysis, that's what I got. It was a good trade. It was completed back then over here, but I held some of it to continue running. Okay, this was a complete trade. It was a good risk reward. One is to 2.3, one is to 2.5, around there. That move went till that, but I'm still seeing if market can move further up, especially if we close above the 2050 level. I'll be expecting market to go up to around the $1,900 mark. Okay, which is my next resistance between the 1900 and the 1910. That's the next resistance level I'm looking. Only if we close above the 1850, which is where market is right now. For those people who use pivot points, market is sort of dangling around the P level, so that's where market is, at the P level. Okay, I don't use pivots, so I was just showing you if you use that. But if it breaks above, the next level I'll be looking is for the 2075, which is my immediate support around here, where market reached last time, got some resistance and turned back. That's the next level I'll be watching. But if market is able to break above that, then ultimately I'm looking for the 1900 next dollar mark to the upside. So that's what I'm watching. I'm really positive on this one. If it goes against me, I already have my stops at break even, so I won't really, it's a 0% risk at the moment. The only risk that I have running is my profits. Okay, but in terms of loss, in terms of my equity balance, account balance, I won't have lost anything. Okay, because market was moving more or less more than 50% to my target, moved stop loss, then now I'm adjusting, looking for market to move higher. So that's what I'm watching on gold. That's the trade I have running currently, but remember, that's a short-term trade. I still have the long-term trades running. If I go down here, I have this long-term trades running that I took down here, and targets are to the upside. Okay, so that's what I'm watching on that one. Dow Jones, I got a trade also this week. Remember, Dow Jones also have a trade running. Okay, then I got a trade down here. So what you're seeing down here, you're seeing we got good entries down here, sort of the same pattern that I was watching on the gold as well, looking for market to reject that level, and now we're moving further up. Okay, so I'm looking this one. I have a long-term trade and a short-term trade, so more or less sort of I'm trading the trend of the direction of the trend. That's why more or less the gold and the Dow, I sort of have same analysis. Okay, markets are both moving to the upside, got a good entry at the downside, but looking for short-term trades along the way. So if I go down to the 4-hour, okay, I have this trade that I took early on yesterday. I took it around here. So took it here, looking for market. Sort of market moved down, sort of didn't really hit my stop loss, as you can see over here. My stop loss has been marked here. Market was moving down, didn't come out of that trade. Market sort of just spiked, so just a fluke, and then market moved further up. So I'm looking for market to go up to the 33,500 short term. That's what my target is. Okay, you can see there we're sort of like, markets will move more, about 50% of that move. About, since my entry, we're up about 300 pips. So I'm looking for another 300 to 400 pips to the upside from where we currently are. Okay, so that's what I was looking at. What was I looking? How did I get that trade? I was looking at this support level. Okay, we had this support level here. So market sort of rejected it. We broke below it. Market retested, moved further down. We broke above it, retested one. Okay, came and retested it the second time. Immediately, that's where I got my long trade. And you can see I got my long trade once we got this pin bar close, this rejection here, but sort of market tried to move a bit lower. My stops were just here below at the 32,600, and then market moved up without hitting the stop. So I still have that trade running, as you've seen, and I'm expecting market to hit the 33,500. After that level is broken, I'll be looking for market to go all the way to the $34,000 mark, as we have been talking about in our analysis. You can check the previous analysis that we have on YouTube. I've been talking about that lately. Okay, so that's what I'm watching on this one. So just those two trades running. I have also this one. I've moved my stops to break even, so sort of they're all running risk free in terms of the balance, as I keep saying. But in terms of my running equity, my only risk is the profit that I have running. Okay, so that's what I have on that one. And mind you, remember we told you guys that we're doing the MFF challenge, so those two trades are running as well on my MFF challenge. Okay, so both my personal account and the MFF challenge have those trades running, so that's what we're looking for. Okay, so these are just for the MFF challenge, personal accounts. Then we have the MFF challenge still running. Okay, so we have those two trades. If these trades are successful, if they move to the upside, if the 33,500, because right now my account is up about I'll show you guys towards the end of my account, okay, on the MFF challenge. I'll show you and how it's faring so far, okay. So that's what I have on those two trades. On Aussie dollar, I don't have any trades running. I'm looking for market. We sort of hit a resistance barrier at the 0.7250 level. You can see that resistance level. So if you understand my style of analysis, simple, which I cheat in my strategies, but they are in the course, but there are nitty-gritties that I keep covering, which is best if you come for the classes. But if you follow the analysis as a week-by-week basis, on Wednesdays especially, you'll notice sort of a pattern that I like looking for. And one of them is looking at the support and resistance. You're looking at this resistance, okay? And it's also important to know how to mark resistance and support levels properly, okay? Then you can see how we rejected this time. Market broke below, rejected it once, went to a new low, we've rejected it again. So of course you expect some rejection of that level at this 0.725 level, okay, and looking to see if market can correct a bit. If not, if market breaks above it, then I'll be looking for market to really rally, continuing with the direction of the trend. Remember, the trend is your friend until the trend breaks, okay. But I won't be surprised to see if market can fall back down to retest the 0.700 level before I move up. We've been talking about this for weeks, so I won't be surprised to see that. Also, I won't be surprised if market breaks the 0.7250 level, continues moving to the upside, because it's the direction of the trend I'm looking for. So market can continue doing that with a lot of momentum. And remember, when you're in a bull market, bear factors are often ignored. So that's why we keep breaking those barriers without really getting significant corrections, okay. So that's what I have on this one. Nothing much, just looking for at this trend line, how we got a breakout. Maybe this was a retest. You're seeing this spike we got here. This was more or less the news that came out yesterday. Quite noisy, quite choppy. So that's what I'm watching here. No trade running, no pattern that I'm familiar with that is running here, okay. If I go to USD CAD, USD CAD has strongly been trending to the downside. I'm pretty much sure. I was looking at oil yesterday with Ken, back to the $120 mark. The oil has really been rallying. This is a commodity pair in line with the oil market. So when oil is moving up, there's a correlation to see that USD CAD is moving down, meaning the Canadian dollar is gaining against the US dollar, okay. So yesterday sort of market sort of tried to pull back to retest the 1.2620 level, and then strongly moved down. You can see that strong bearish close, okay, to the downside. If you look at the 4-hour chart, we can see it clearly. Sort of market didn't really get that beautiful touch, but sort of moved up and strongly moved down. That was during the New York session, okay. That's what we got yesterday in the evening. Market strongly moved to the downside. As well on this one, I don't have any trades running, nothing much, nothing that I'm getting out of it. I'm just watching until a clear pattern comes, okay. So but if market continues moving down, 1.2450 is my next support. That will support here. Very, very good target. I'm sure the short sellers are also targeting that level, especially for this week. This week, my resistance is the 1.2625 level. Support is the 1.2450 level. That's a 200 pip difference. So within this week, I'll be looking to see if market can dangle between those levels. And then if I go down to the DXY, what am I looking at on the DXY? Same thing, still looking at support and resistance. You can see we got a support here. Market moved down, okay, came back to retest it, and then moved down, then came back to retest it again, getting a strong rejection of it yesterday, okay. You can see that rejection. Then today market sort of a moved up. I wouldn't be surprised if you came and touch that level, okay, then move further down. And then also what I'm watching is if you can close above, and then you get a solid close above it. But till then, I'll be looking for more bearish moves on the dollar to continue moving to the downside, unless we close above this level. If we do close above this level, I'll be looking to see if this flag formation can be respected. Market to move a bit higher to reject this level around here. It's also a sub key level, okay. You can see this level. You can see how I'm looking at this key level. That's a support, another support, resistance, okay. Then market can easily come back to that level. Okay, that's my next level to the upside if market doesn't respect this level. If it breaks up, I'll be looking to see market can come here at the 103.25 level before we get that drop to the downside. So that's what I'm watching on the dollar index, which will give me a broad narrative of what is going to happen on the other dollar pairs. Things like GU, I'll be looking, if that happens, I'll be looking for GU maybe to move further down. But yesterday we also got a very significant close, a move to the upside, a bullish close. Now I'm looking this counter trend line. Can this be a bullish close, a retest, and then a move higher? Okay, if not, this could have been the actual formation of that turning point. If I stroll this one a bit lower, then I'll be looking for market to come. This is an A, B, C correction to come to retest this level. Okay, so you always want to look at both narratives on both sides. Do not ignore either side just because you have a trade or a bias that supports your direction that you want the market to go. So sort of look, same analysis here. Market broke to the downside, ABC correction in the form of a flag, then move down. Same thing can happen over here. Market tends to repeat itself, but not perfectly, but it tends to rhyme. Okay, so this is a breakout. You can get that sort of pattern over here, come retest this level, and then we move higher. So I'll be paying attention to that on the British pound. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at. Nothing much. Already covered DXY. I covered DXY, which is sort of in line with the dollar, Euro USD. Okay, USD, if it continues moving down, then I'll be looking for this support to hold the market before any move to the upside. But like I said, these are pairs I don't trade, the GU and Euro USD. I just pay attention to them, looking at the patterns, because you're sort of teaching yourself how to look at patterns, recognize patterns, and how to trade them. Okay, and how they occur in different markets, because they tend to occur the same but differently with different characteristics. So you want to understand that in different pairs. Okay, so I think that's basically what I have. Okay, so like I said, I took on the MFF challenge, I have the what is it called, the $10,000 account. So I took at the time it was the smallest. Now the smallest you can get is about the $5,000 mark, the $5,000 one. And looking at the trades that are running, I think I have a 4% running. Okay, target is 8%. If you get to 8%, you'll have it passed. So as you can see, those are the trades I have running. As I said, the US 30 and the gold. So if those two work out well, which if that means if Dow reaches 33,500 and gold reaches even 1875, my target is 1900 but reaches 1875, then that would be I've already have passed because of the two trades running. But at the same time, there'll be challenges that you need to keep in track when you're trading these things, especially things like your equity drawdown per day, such stuff. So every single day I have to come in the morning and adjust my levels of support, of stop loss, where they are, because it's a equity drawdown, not just the balance drawdown. But I'll do a separate video to explain that. But that's what I have running. Let's see how it goes. Hopefully if they run well by the end of the week, they'll be fine. If they go opposite direction, as I said, I've already broken even, so I won't lose anything. I'll only lose the money that's running in profit, the $420 something that you're seeing running. So that's pretty much it. So I don't think I have anything much apart from that. I hope for the guys who are doing the challenge as well, I hope it's going well for you. All the best, because there are a few guys who are also doing it together with us. We were to do a video, I remember, last week, but I think we got held up over the weekend. So this week we'll do sort of a compilation of how the 2 weeks have been so far, together with the rest of my teammates, Ken and Taras, and you guys can keep track of how we're doing. So that's it, guys, for today. I hope you enjoyed that analysis. As usual, we keep updating every week, every Wednesday, Friday, and Monday as well. So we normally have a group where you guys can join. If you join the description below, if you read the description below, we have our Discord groups where we share, where we do the live analysis, so that because by the time you're watching this video, I'm sure it's in the evening, maybe most of what we're looking at has already panned out, so you're using it as reference just to learn or something, but you can be joining us live to see what we're doing. So join the groups that we have on our Discord group, our Telegram as well, and WhatsApp, and we do the analysis live while you're watching, where we share our Zoom links. Okay, apart from that, I don't have anything much. Let's see how those trades will run. I'll recap them at the end of the week to see if they actually panned out or if they did not. Remember, as I said, I have risk-free running on those ones, apart from the risk I have running on the trades. But apart from that, come and join us here at Jake Towers, 17th floor, where we'll teach you here the trading floor and show you how to analyze, how we approach the markets. We'll teach you much with psychology, okay, how to use your psychology well, creating a proper psychological framework that works for you. And we'll also work on risk management, creating a risk profile depending on your risk appetite that works also for you here at our offices. Apart from that, if you want to start trading, you can click the link below to start trading with Paperstone, open an account, and we also use it here when we're doing back testing with the students, which is very, very important for your data collection in terms of trading as a back test and also forward testing. So that's it from me. I don't have anything much. I hope you've enjoyed that analysis, and I'll see you guys on Friday. Peace. Thank you very much for watching Financial Hub's content on YouTube. For more Forex analysis, financial education, podcasts, and exclusive content, be sure to subscribe.